Welcome to Offensive Points Rookie Rankings Rumble. This one will be fun, guys. We haven't had a Rumble in a while. To all the live audience, thank you for supporting us, listening to us. For those of you on the podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever, appreciate the listen. Thank you, guys. As always, I'm here with Josh and Billy. Josh, Billy, what's up?
Well, dude, I have quite a story for you guys. But we'll save it. We'll save it. I don't want to do it right off the top. I want Billy to at least be able to introduce himself. Like kidding. I'll let Billy introduce himself.
I almost just wanted you to get to the story. No, I have is that me and Joe played golf today at this incredible.
Yeah, that's actually annoying.
Fucking golf course in Illinois. It was incredible for $25. It was insane. Waterloo Golf Course. Highly recommend if you're ever passing through.
Yeah, if anyone drives through Illinois, Waterloo is where it's at for cheap golf. Even Joe's rocking that.
Apparently.
The Acorns.
It's not even cheap. Like, it is cheap, but like the golf course itself, exquisite. It was insane. I've paid more to play on shittier golf courses than what we paid to play on this exquisite golf course that was just in the middle of nowhere, apparently.
It was easily a $70 course in St. Louis.
Yeah. That last hole is I have not played that at a $25 golf course before.
No,
just saying.
The going rate's pretty much 50, pretty much any public course at the very least. And like to be able to find that halved in this economy, dude, like it's amazing. I'm jealous.
We were almost part of like a D budget horror film with the mower guy. He was just slowly stalking us the entire time, and we were convinced he was going to murder us, but.
He was mowing the tee box. Well, he was mowing the hole on like the 15th hole, and then from then on, he decided he's only mowing the tee boxes from then on. So literally every hole we teed off, we do our shots and everything. He would mow the tee box behind us, and then all of a sudden you would hear this rumble at the next tee box of him waiting to get to the one that we're on right now. And yeah, it did kind of become like, what are we doing here?
Man, maybe, I don't know, maybe don't give that guy's details all the way. What if his boss is listening? You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden he's like, you were supposed to do greens and tee boxes. This guy said you only did tee boxes.
The superintendent for Acorns Golf Course in Waterloo, Illinois is listening. Thank you. Go to idpguys.com and purchase a subscription because right now it's 50% off until the end of May, and then it's going to go right back up. So go buy
Just like the Acorns Golf Club, apparently.
Yeah,
50% off if you want to play there. All right. Anyway, let's get into my story. I haven't done as much exciting things because I've been on dad duty. So the mom has been out of town for a few days, and so me and Alan, the mom, I don't know, my wife has been out of town for the last few days, and I just tried to distract him as much as possible from him not being able to hear the word mama to everything. And so me and Alan go to the park yesterday, and there's about 4 other dads with their prospective kids, and we're just shooting the shit or whatever. And one of them was like, "I'm here because my wife's busy and I need to distract him." One's like, "I got kids going to baseball, and this kid needed something to do, so we're all up here." We're like, "Yeah, that's awesome. It was a nice, chill playground, and everything." Anyway, I was explaining to one of them, I was like, "Oh yeah, my wife's out of town, and I'm just trying not to let him hear the word mama because he goes crazy." And then all of a sudden, he's like runs to me, and he's standing next to me, and I was like, "See, this is." I can't say the M word around him. And Alan, who's black, of course, all the other people were like, "What the fuck? The M word?" And I was like, everyone heard the N word, obviously. Not really even thinking about it. I was just trying not to say mama in front of him because he'll start going crazy and like, "Where is she? It's been 2 days. Like, I need this." But it really, like, my brain didn't even comprehend that could be taken as the next letter of the alphabet. And man, I was like so embarrassed. I was like, "Oh,
I do like that you were saying that these people were hearing that your child cannot hear the N word." It's like, well, how many times does this situation arise to where you need to tell people that?
That's what I heard. I didn't even question it. I was just trying to but I'm there with my black friend, which would be even weirder for me. Weird flex for like.
It is St. Charles. I think you do need to preface every situation you walk into. Like,
people were surprisingly chill with it, which is the only issue there. But one of them was like, "What?" And Alan goes, "What?" And I was like, M. Two of the hoops, like not just one. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Oh my god, man!" It was one of those embarrassing moments where like I didn't even think about the consequences and not even realizing that like it could be misconstrued. And then his wife texted me later, and he's like, I hear you are worried about him saying the M word. And I was like, immediately. But it was a good time regardless. And he did not get, he actually just got him on back. So he's doing great now.
Speaking of good times, go to the fantasyfootballexpo.com and purchase your tickets to hang out with us August 8th through the 12th in Canton, Ohio, which is actually the hometown of Harold Fannin Jr., so he's destined for greatness as well.
Joe, that's incredible.
Joe never even heard this story, and he just was ready to insert as needed,
No.
and I appreciate it.
No, it was a great story. No, I appreciate you saying that.
Oh, dude, it was wild, man. I was...
Yeah.
I'm sweating just thinking about it, man. Alan could beat my ass.
I was about to say, it sounds like he's kind of
Speaking of sweating just thinking about it, going over to Fast Draft, where if you sweat too much, you're going to miss your pick. The drafts go so fast. They have IDP drafts that you can get on there, and they have rookie-only drafts. It's their origin drafts. You can also do a draft where you can enter to win $50,000. Use promo code OP for a 100% bonus match up to $50, and go to Fast Draft.
Incredible, Joe.
It just reminds me of Wayne's World, where he's like, I would never say anything, but here's this Black & Decker drill that I use.
I was thinking about the Lord yesterday, so eat Chick-fil-A.
I love how you were eating McDonald's and you have a Chick-fil-A cup.
Yeah, it just happened to be sitting here from, I don't even know where this cup's from. Whatever. All right. Let's get to the rookies. So I looked back, we've never done this on the show before. We are going to rank just the rookies going into a Dynasty draft. Now, I hear everyone out there probably grumbling like, hey, I already had my fantasy rookie draft. What does this even matter at this point? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say this now that we're going to get our rankings out of the way right now. Just so in case you have one in June, you have one in August, we have plenty of people that we know that draft those later dates. Or if you even have some guys that are maybe sitting on your waiver wire right now that you just want to know more about, that maybe you're thinking about picking up and dumping somebody on your taxi squad for, we're going to get to it.
And while you're getting ready for your redraft rankings, you'll know all the rookies. So easy peasy.
I really thought he was leaning into another ad, which would have been great.
But, all right, I'm almost scared to know what this guy named Joe Babs is suggesting on the YouTube channel. But we will hear you out in the comments. He says, "Do you guys want in on one of the best ideas out there?" I am so nervous at where that's headed, I need to know. I need to know where it's headed.
It's got to be OnlyFans. We're already on there. So if you go to OP,
no, Joe's got some ideas.
One good thing about these rookie rankings is whether your league's draft or not, at the very least, you can just figure out if you find good value in our eyes. You know what I mean? So maybe you got someone a little early, or maybe you got someone a little late. Honestly, once again, we all draft with our heart on OP. We don't really care about rankings at the end of the day. But if you need to look at some rankings and figure out where at least the general consensus should be, this is about right. Honestly, I love our averages, but. Can we just go ahead and get right in, top 6?
I was about to say, Josh, if you will go ahead and read off the rankings.
All right, number 1 is, surprise, surprise, Ashton Jeanty. I don't know if you guys have heard about this kid. Pretty good running back. Tet McMillan is number 2. That might actually be a surprise. Amarion Hampton at number 3. Judkins at 4. Travis Hunter at 5. And Travion at 6. And it might be important to caveat this. This is just fully offensive, no IDP. Because if so, Travis Hunter is skyrocketing up that board just in the off chance that you can get the dual threat. But this is just offense for those out there. So what stands out to you guys? Joe, what stands out to you?
I like how you and I both have Tet at 2. Billy has him at 4. Still goes into our rankings, but my thought on Tet specifically is that Tet McMillan walks into a situation where he's going to get fed the ball. I mean, Deontay Johnson, before he got kicked off of the team, was on pace for 140 targets in that offense. I know Leggett had some injuries. Coker had some injuries, but they drafted Tet in the top 10, and they're going to absolutely feed him. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him average about 9 to 11 targets a game, which for a team that really needs help, if you're drafting at 102, get Tet McMillan, because he might not be your wide receiver 1 forever, but he's immediately going to give you great results from this rookie class.
Yeah, before Billy goes and jumps in with the anti-Tet comment, I want to go ahead and piggyback off what Joe said. What Tet did in college was phenomenal. I know a lot of people say he's a jump ball guy. He's not really, he's kind of one-dimensional, which is fine for this team because you know what? They have a lot of other guys. I don't know if Coker is going to be the dude. We don't know because Bryce had that resurgence at the end of the year last year, and Coker and Leggett, and there was some promise to these guys out there, but it was just a bunch of no names. It was just Bryce out there balling, was what it was. So Tet coming in, potentially being the number one. Obviously Thielen's back again, so there will be some targets on that way. But like honestly, it's got to be a handoff here, right? Like it's got to be next to Tet. Like they didn't draft him top 6 to not go after him. So I think he's got a great opportunity, more so than a lot of these other guys behind him. So a lot of splits coming into the backfield here. So this was just my true like number one pick for the team, and for what Bryce was on, hopefully he can stay on that heater in year 3. So.
I only ranked him at 4, so I don't want to go into this saying that I'm a huge, massive hater at Tet. I did see someone rank him as a top 12 wide receiver today, just above AJ Brown, which I'm just like, whoa, what are we doing here? However, that did not affect what I thought of his ranking. I need to see it first from the Carolina offense. I need to make this make sense.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like
Carolina, like I just don't know yet because Adam Thielen, he is old, but like I need to see him actually not be the main focus where it actually ends up being Tet. I just need to see it first, I guess.
I 100% understand that. I feel like the fact of the matter is Tet is just coming into the perfect situation to where this could be the past, present, and future of Carolina. Hoping to see a big resurgence for him, but coming into this all together, like just loving what Tet had on camera, and I thought he was still going to be a high pick, and it turns out he was. So it was really nice to see. I think it wasn't 6th pick, 8th pick?
I think it was 8, but whatever. Either way, top 10 pick in the NFL, it's still a major thing. Like, I need to see it from Carolina first before I trust this passing offense, which Dave Canales can make wide receivers hum. So if he's going to try to focus Tet and make him the guy there, I can't knock it. The 2 guys I had ranked above him, I just like a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah,
I will say I did have some trepidation with Tet because of his separation. Like he doesn't get a ton of separation a lot of the time. Bryce Young, shockingly, was one of the best quarterbacks throwing into tight windows last year. So I'm not as worried now. Give me Tet.
Yeah, I mean,
I just need to see the volume, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. All. I get it. We'll see how this shakes out. We'll see if Coker's the real deal too. I mean, Leggett still has an opportunity to be a good wide receiver in the NFL as well. But back to the ranking situation where you said
they also added Hunter Renfrow, which we don't even know what that means yet. I mean, to me, not a whole lot, but at the same time, like he was a dude at one point in time. I don't know.
2019 was a really good year.
Yeah,
Bryce might be the next Josh Allen, where he just doesn't have a true number 1. You never know. I mean, just for the counter argument there. But back to the whole ranking thing where Tet at number 12 overall wide receivers. Dude, this happens every year. We overrank rookie wide receivers and rookie running backs, and Jeanty's probably going to be going in the first round at the end of it all, probably like top 5. And while he probably actually deserves to be somewhere close to that, it's just we do this every year where the rookie's gonna be a huge hit, and it's like, dude, it's 50-50, man. Like we don't know, like with any of these guys for real. But like to draft one, like I'd rather wait and go get Judkins, Travion, Caleb in the 7th, 8th round, grab that hopeful rookie. So getting right into it, Hampton, I'm the only person who put him outside the top 3. I put him at 4. I have Judkins over him at RB2, and then my issue with Hampton is not his skill level. My issue with Hampton is the guy he's running with. With Judkins, he's got his counterpart and Dylan Sampson, who I do like a lot, honestly, but it's just you draft Judkins in the 2nd and you draft Sampson in the 4th. Kind of know how that's going to shake out, in my opinion, at least. With Hampton, Najee and him are going to have an ugly split this year. And I know it's going to be great for the future, hence why he's number 4 in my situation. I just think Judkins is going to have a better volume rookie year, in my opinion. He's going to be perfectly slotted into that Nick Chubb role. The Chargers also went out and got our guy with Lab McConkey last year and Trey Harris this year, who I'm huge on. So just adding weapons to that room is starting to get a little consolidated. And I know J.K. Dobbins really did have the lead role last year, but I don't think they brought in Najee for no reason. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna get him some work, whether it's 10 or 11 carries or 15. It's going to be a significant chunk, and hopefully Hampton can overall take that role sooner rather than later. But I'm a little worried about it.
I just think this year.
Sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this year. I think you're right. I don't know if it's going to necessarily be fantasy boom, but I think in 2 years we're going to be looking back like, yeah, that was kind of dumb to not take him as the second best guy in this draft because he's like getting 35 touches a game or something like crazy like that.
A bit aggressive, but I get what you're saying.
It is aggressive, but
I do think it's great for the long run.
20-something.
I think if you're drafting in this spot, you're hoping that you can go get a guy who can contribute right away. And to draft Hampton, we've had it happen before where you draft a backup running back. I think we actually had that on the Chargers before. Isaiah Spiller, who got drafted there. I'm not saying that he'll end up being a Spiller, but
that's a little different.
I mean, honestly, is it though?
Yeah,
this guy was drafted in the first round. Yeah, it's a little different.
He has the first round pedigree, which I love, but I mean, we saw Greg Roman his entire career. He's always had 2 running backs. So if it's Najee this year, it's going to be someone else next year, which is my only thing. I've cooled on Hampton a little bit because after watching his tape and grinding on that, there were so many times where I'm like, that would have been a tackle in the NFL. Like, I mean, he has great contact balance. That's what we love him for. Second in this class after Jeanty. But there were a couple things where I was like, that wouldn't have been a 70-yard touchdown in the NFL. He would have been tackled probably at the line of scrimmage a couple of those times. So I like Amari on Hampton. I think he'll be fine. I just always think he's going to be in that committee situation, which is going to suck.
Just little ticks for me. Like North Carolina running backs, haven't seen one break out and be as good as they can be. So I don't know. I hope I'm wrong.
I've still got him at 3. I'm not going
to. This comes from a Javonte Williams defender, by the way. He's just mad that Javonte Williams.
I can be mad.
I know you are. This is what this is coming from, right here.
And you know what? Honestly, I got him at 4, so it's not like I'm saying he's bad. Same with you.
You hate him.
I hate him.
Warren Hampton. Fair enough.
Judkins at 4. So excited when he was taken in the second round. When they drafted Sampson, I mean, Dylan Sampson's a good running back. It scares me a little bit. Are we going to see like a 60-40 split between those two with like Jerome Ford coming in?
That's what scares me the most is that Jerome Ford is still there. And probably will have some sort of role, I guess. I don't know. Sampson wasn't necessarily a pass catching back either. So they're kind of similar guys, but we only saw one big year from Sampson. So it's not like I'm terrified of it, but it's just more of, I like Sampson's running style and it could be a really interesting 1-2 punch. So they're both rookies.
It was the fourth round capital that Sampson got that I was like, whoa. You take Judkins in the second, that's amazing. And then you turn around and just, whoop, here's Sampson also.
I guess they said, hey, let's get our running backs out of the way for the next. I just want to go ahead and get that out of the way. But my thing is honestly, now that once we get down a little bit, like these 3 to 4 or 4 to 6 is like all in really precarious situations. Like for me, like Quinshon Judkins, Amarion Hampton, we'll skip over 5, but Travion Henderson. I mean, we got all 3 of these guys in roles where they're just blocked. Like would have loved to see one of these guys go to the Steelers or, a team where they could have immediately contributed. Even Chicago, take over Swift's role if that were the case. It would be a split still, but you imagine one of these guys might take over pretty quickly.
I love Travion, man. I'm back.
I'm not worried about Judkins at all. I understand what the thought process is of not liking him because Sampson's there or Jerome Ford's there. If Jerome Ford was going to do it, he would have done it. Not worried at all.
100%.
If they had more backup running backs on this team that mattered, I would be worried more about Sampson. But he's just going to be a good fill-in backup piece if Judkins does get hurt. No, this is literally their next Nick Chubb, and we don't need to worry about it.
So at what point do we credit the Ohio State offensive line? Just playing both sides here. I actually like Judkins and Travion a lot, but since they both had great years back to back all together, like at that point, is it a little bit of offensive line? I mean, or are these guys just that uber talented on the same team?
So I think these guys got offensive linemen from Ohio State drafted, not the other way around, which normally I would say it might be the opposite where the offensive line got the running backs drafted, but these guys are just both NFL running backs that happen to be behind that line, and Josh Simmons went in the first round. Like they have guys that probably maybe weren't first-round draft picks that are going to be first-round draft picks now. Donovan Jackson, I think, was another one.
I mean, think about how
Judkins
quick
did it at Ole Miss too, so it wasn't
He
like
did.
just an Ohio State thing.
Well, just imagine. I mean, how quick they get past the offensive line or like the defensive line, and then they're under the linebacker or the secondary level. Like, I mean, it's pretty easy to look good when a guy gets past that block really quick. All you got to do is block for 2 seconds, and then he's gone. Especially with Travion.
Are you saying that line's consistent, Josh?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty consistent.
Speaking of consistency, go over to bigguyfantasysports.com and get their consistency guide. It is fantastic. You can go through and you can see they compare 3-year stats on there, and you can see the trends for all of these players. And really, when you're looking at fantasy football guys and people to draft, it is so important to project out 3 years. You can see the trend. If you have 2 good years and then a fall off year, it's like, maybe I shouldn't invest as highly in this guy. But if you see that keep going up at that 52-week high, like we love to see in the stock market, you can get them at that price and get values across the board. So go check it out.
Nailed it, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, Billy, I do got to ask because I know you're a huge
Sure.
Travion Henderson fan, and we're kind of already on the Ohio State topic. We got him at 6 consensus-wise. I have him at 6. Joe has him at 4. You have him at 7. How are you the lowest on him? I know you're a big fan.
So my issue is the Ramondre contract situation. But then again, this might be a front office situation. Why would you give Ramondre Stevenson this extension if you were thinking about maybe taking a running back that was actually going to be a featured part of the offense in the draft? I don't understand those conflicting problems there. They're probably both going to be on the field at the same time, I would assume, for some of these downs this season. But like, it's beyond this season, even though like next season, Ramondre is still on the hook. So how are we going to figure this all out? I don't understand. Ramondre, I'm a Ramondre defender. I will always be, but at the same time, I do know that he is very limited, and he was very destructive at certain points last season, especially when they got behind. They needed a guy to come in and clean it up for him, and it was Antonio Gibson. And Trayvon Henderson's obviously an upgrade over that, but like, at what point do we just say maybe Henderson is the actual focal point of this offense? But then why give money to Ramondre? Like, it's just like, why do that? It doesn't make any sense.
They got a whole new,
but not really. They gave Ramondre Stevenson the contract this season. I mean, he was there when they did it. The coach.
No, it was off.
The coach. Vrabel's new.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, the GM. I guess I'm thinking of the GM, but yeah, you're right. The coach is new.
So here's my thing with Travion is you do not have to give him 20 carries a game. I mean, you should, because Ramondre, like you said, is average as hell. Travion, he had the soft tissue nonsense in college and missed a couple games, but he immediately makes this offense more explosive. And, they protected him by getting Will Campbell right there. They got Travion, who's going to be a weapon from hell. When Diggs gets healthy, I mean, this is going to be a cool offense. And I think that Travion's really going to carry the load of that. So even if he's getting 15 touches a game, I think you're looking at top 10, top 12 numbers out of it, just because he is going to be so impactful there.
I mean, just look at Gibbs. He wasn't getting 20 carries a game pre-injury to Montgomery, and he still got like a good workload where with 12 touches one way or another ended up being fantasy relevant. I love Travion. I agree with Billy. The whole contract with Stevenson kind of makes no sense.
Why did they ever make him a top 5 paid running back in the first
place? It made no sense when they did it, Joe. It was like, is Ramondre winning us games? No. So then, why are we giving him this contract?
In Stevenson's defense, they never gave him a chance to. Like they pulled him
right.
the second.
Well, and the O line's been bad for him too, so it's not like it's been anything he could have done anything about. But it's just, I don't know. It's very odd.
Is one of the best running back duos, and like I think they immediately vault up under Gibbs and Montgomery.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I said under.
Oh, okay. I thought you said over. My bad.
No. Like, you gotta see it first in action, right?
Billy, I'm going to go out of order just a little bit and put you on the hot seat a second time. All right.
Put me on it.
We got to talk about the man of the hour, Travis Hunter here. I have him at 6 in a non-IDP league. I have him at 6. Josh has him at 5. You have him at 3. Now, the ceiling for Hunter is like top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, and the floor is like who the hell knows in a non-IDP league, even in an IDP league. So you have him at 3. I love it. I'm not going to fight you on it, but what's your reasoning there?
Okay, well, in my thinking, the running back room kind of a joke. We can put that across. We're gonna do a passing offense here. Liam Cohen is gonna get 2 wide receivers jumping. He had Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. We don't know exactly how that's going to shape up here with the Jaguars, but I figure that Travis Hunter is going to get put in to those options. And I just figure the way that this season is going to go, at least at the beginning, even, is that we're going to double BTJ. We're going to make BTJ not win, and that's going to leave a lot open for Hunter. They just got rid of Gabe Davis today, which takes away some more targets. There's really no other option on this team. In my opinion, them getting rid of Gabe Davis kind of solidifies the fact that Travis Hunter is an offensive weapon who's going to be used slightly on defense. As much as Travis Hunter wants to play both ways 100%, getting rid of Gabe Davis more than often tips your hand that you're not going to – like they're not going to trust De'Ami Brown to be the guy that plays in Hunter's spot. So I think it's going to be Hunter, BTJ, and De'Ami Brown sometimes, and then Hunter's going to play a little bit on defense, but I think we have an offensive weapon here that I'm not worried about. Like I think he's going to be playing a lot and he's going to score a lot.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just slightly worried about the long term of this, whether it's an IDP or regular, is he going to end up finishing his career as a cornerback or a wide receiver? And I mean, I got him at 5. It's so hard to with this literally generational talent. I don't know what's going to happen, and that scares me. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to have him on my team. But it's something about that. Just like, what if he ends up just being a corner at some point? Say he gets injured on an offensive play and he comes back later and he says, all right, I'm just going to finish. I'm done. Like, I'm assuming these first couple of years are going to be electric on both sides of the ball. I don't know what the percentages are, but it does seem like this team's shaping up to give Trevor Lawrence one last crack at it. So I'm looking forward to seeing this team all around it. Honestly, I got to say, I disagree with the running back room. That team was just awful and couldn't throw the ball anywhere other than to Brian Thomas. I think Etienne's a fine running back. I mean, he's not great. He's not the best running back in the league by any means, but just 2 years ago, he was literally a top 5 running back in yardage and everything else. So we could see it happen again, especially with this passing offense. So Tank Bigsby was unfortunately not what it's been, but
it was a broken team. I do have higher hopes for Etienne this year, but I love the addition of Travis Hunter, and Gary Davenport had a phenomenal article out. If anyone's wavering on picking him in an IDP league, and basically if he puts up top 60 cornerback points, which isn't that hard to do, and top 30 wide receiver points, he's going to average about 21 points a game in traditional scoring, which is fucking ridiculous. So honestly, he should probably absolutely be the 101 in an IDP combo league. Even above Jeanty. I wouldn't argue if you went Jeanty, but
I've also heard, and this is a very custom thing, so I don't want it to make it seem like this is the thing, like the norm. But I've heard that, like from other fantasy podcasts, that potentially they might add like a pick 6 as being counted towards what Travis Hunter is doing in a regular fantasy football league with no IDP, because if you have a kick returner on your team. Kick returner returns a touchdown on the kickoff, that still counts as points for a wide receiver, even if they're not technically playing that. So there could be a way to shift that in, which could also raise his value. I don't know how that's going to look, but it is interesting.
It's going to look good.
On the opposite end of that spectrum is the Societani of NFL right now, and we saw it with Taysom Hill where he had QB eligibility, tight end eligibility while he's playing QB. That was pulled during the season when that was happening in all leagues. So I could see, but the only thing is people don't really care about IDP as much, and unfortunately, obviously we do.
This might make people care about IDP, by the way. Like, boys, this might be it. This might be the time that we finally get a guy that's going to make people care about defensive points a little bit.
Yeah,
because the first time he scores a pick 6 and it doesn't count for you, just wait for the loudest dude in your league to be like, I don't get points for that. He scored a touchdown. Like, just wait. That's going to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, imagine this guy goes out and gets 5 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown, and then he gets a pick 6 on top of it. And you ended up with 15 points instead of 25 or whatever it would have been. Oh, yeah, that'll piss me off.
I envision a lot of 40-point games for this dude, so I'm excited.
I guess you could stack Travis Hunter and the Jacksonville defense. Like, that would be interesting.
Ooh.
Like, I'm in a hybrid league where you have a team defense and you also have a cornerback playing. that would be nasty if he scored a pick six and it scored, points for both.
That's
Well,
how
not to
Iggy's
mention-
league is with the
That'd be
FF7s. You
crazy.
have defense and IDP. Ooh, that's nasty.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, not to mention just having him on your team as just your wide receiver, and then you go and
Right.
get him as your defensive player or your defensive special teams. I mean, that's one way to get his pick six, and then that see, there's so many problems that this can create, and it's going to be so interesting to see how this all plays out. But that's one other thing I'm worried about is what if Sleeper one day is like, all right, we got to pull it, we got to pull defensive play. He's getting 8 targets, 10 targets a game. He's catching 8 balls for 100 yards. We can't be giving him defensive points too because it's just cheat code. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm spilling it out here because I'm interested to see how this all plays out.
Sleeper's unhinged, man. I don't think they're going to change it. I don't even think they changed Taysom during that time. But no, I do agree with you. That's why it's such a weird. I mean, if you're drafting Travis Hunter, ideally you're contending in some way, shape, or form because if that ship sinks, you're toast on a pick.
Yeah, imagine you're a team who's just trying to make it to the playoffs. You get them at 5, like where we have them in the rankings here, and like you're trying to do it, and then they switch them to just DB, and you're like, no. Yep, that's what I'm saying, dude. I remember Otani's first year. I had him, and it was phenomenal, and it was lovely. And then like you can only play him on as a pitcher or a batter, and I was like. Pfft.
Remember when we were having?
He hasn't pitched but like 2 seasons since then. Like,
remember when we had the conversation with Andy Behrens about splitting Christian McCaffrey in half, where we had just his receiving points and just his running points, and then he obviously didn't play, so it kind of sucked. But we had that conversation. It was very.
But honestly, though, you'd have a solid wide receiver and a solid running back too. So this, I don't know. This is gonna be interesting to see how this all shakes out. All right, let's get to the bottom 6 of the first round. So it goes down: Caleb Johnson, R.J. Harvey, T.J. Warren, Loveland, Mika Egbuka, and Luther Burden to round out the first round. Well, I feel like Caleb and RJ are no-brainers. The first perfect walk-ins to a team that needs a running back right now. Any reason why we should be worried about either one of these guys? I know I loved Caleb in the long run, but I didn't know a whole lot about RJ Harvey before the draft.
So the only reason I'm a little worried about RJ Harvey, I'm not worried about Caleb Johnson, by the way. As long as Arthur Smith doesn't pull his old bullshit, no, he should be fine. The problem I have potentially with RJ Harvey is that they do kind of have a gimmick going on there with the amount of offensive players, whereas we think RJ Harvey steps in and immediately steps into being potentially an RB1 situation. I wouldn't be shocked if Estime still had a role. Wouldn't be shocked if McLaughlin still had a role. Wouldn't be shocked if we went out there and just had no running back for a couple of plays. It's Sean Payton of it all. Like, we think he's going to do another Alvin Kamara. That's what we all hope and pray. I think he would have taken one of the top guys had it been that way. I think that he would have drafted a Quinshawn, a Travion Henderson, something like that, if he was going to do that, and he didn't. So it feels like kind of tips to the hand that while RJ Harvey is going to be important and going to get a crack, potentially not going to be the superstar that we may have projected him to be.
You want to hear my hot take and pretty much knowing nothing about RJ Harvey?
Okay.
I think RJ Harvey is going to do exactly what Jeanty did his rookie and sophomore year, where it was like good year, except minus injury. I don't want to wish that on anyone. I think it's just going to be pretty good. Okay. Like nothing superstar like we were hoping for. Just kind of middle of the road. And probably because of what you said, Bill, I mean, they didn't use Jeanty as the lead back. They didn't use anyone as a lead back. And it was weird.
Yeah. My only thing with RJ Harvey is Jeanty, before he went to Dallas last year, he still had 52 receptions. And Bo Nix fed Bucky Irving the receiving game. I know that McLaughlin's a good receiver. I know that Batty showed some flashes in the 2 games he played last year, but RJ Harvey's immediately, I think, going to absorb that and then plus whatever happens from there. So we know he's really good between the tackles. We know he can turn the corner. We know he's got home run speed. That's something that Estime really doesn't have. So I think when you're looking, they have a good defense. So I think Estime could be your closer, but I think RJ Harvey is going to be your starter at the beginning of the game and be racking up points pretty much the whole time. The only thing that scares me is his age, because as the Leo DiCaprio of running backs, it hurts, but you're going to get 3 good years out of him. If he's really good this year, I'd consider moving him, but That's my thought.
Not to mention they might go grab another running back in the next draft too. He did have 2 huge years at UCF, but once again, smaller schools. I am always a little worried about that. Obviously, had some great role, but I did watch his tape, and it is super electric. It is fun to watch, but going into that, not watching much college, I had no idea, and I was like, oh, that's what they went with all these stellar guys with great landing spots potentially. But yeah, Caleb doing great. I mean, we're pretty even on this: 9.76, 8.89. And then here's where it gets interesting. We have some tight ends vaulting around each other. Oh, sorry.
Now, Joe on YouTube says, didn't he have fumbling issues and needs blocking refinement? Hope I'm wrong because I'm still drafting around 10 or 12 available. Which, I mean, you are correct. It's just, it's the matter of the landing spot. Honestly, had he gotten drafted to basically anywhere else, I would be 100% with he did have some issues. So, that's kind of odd. But the fact that he ended up in Denver, who desperately needs a running back, it does seem like Sean Payton's at least planning to trot him out there. We'll see if he comes up different than what he was doing in college, but I mean, he's going to figure it out fast.
Yeah, the landing spots in both of the leagues we've drafted in were 9 and 10 too. So, I mean, you can be a team that's been competing and right in that mix for that championship and still go get him. And so, I mean, and not to mention, what we all said, perfect landing spot. But onto the tight ends, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland at 9 and 10. Joe has Colston Loveland ranked higher than Tyler Warren, and Billy has Tyler Warren ranked higher than Colston Loveland, who, if I'm not mistaken, you said you don't want Warren, you don't want him anywhere near. I thought you were gonna roast me for having Warren at 9, but then you had him at 10. What gives, guys? Why do you guys like tight end better?
I mean, for Tyler Warren, yeah, I'm taking him 10th in this class. Eventually, he'll be good. This season, though, it's not going to be that way. That I'm not. If he was Brock Bowers, he would be number 5 in this class. I'd be like, yeah, get him because not only is he going to produce this year, he's going to produce for years. Tyler Warren, I'll take him as a flyer at 10 and just hope for the best because of where he got drafted. But it's not going to be this year. I still don't believe that.
I'm warming up to Warren. I mean, obviously in redraft, I'm not drafting him high up. If I have this pick at 9 and 10, I think I'm taking Warren. I definitely have Warren over Loveland as well. But it's just because of the dynamic player that he is. And we have seen this now 2 years in a row where there's been a breakout rookie tight end. I don't know if that happens again this year, but you gotta think, what if, right? You gotta be hey man, I have Goddard on my team and we don't even know if he's playing for the Eagles, or I have Laporta, and I don't know if they're going to use him like they did his rookie year. I mean, if you're sitting in a spot like this and you need a tight end to slot in, maybe not Laporta, but maybe you just have been desperate at tight end for years, I think either of these guys could be fun and probably should have a role. Only reason I have Loveland lower than Warren is just because Cole Kmet is still there. I do think it'll be great for the long run, but I do think that Loveland, in my opinion, would have a worse year than Warren.
Yeah, in defense of Warren, Anthony Richardson's career depth of target, 6.8 yards. Tyler Warren's average depth of catch, 6.9 yards. So it's kind of a match made in heaven there. This regime is not going to give up on Anthony Richardson. They drafted him 4th overall 2 years ago. So they're going to throw him out there. Tyler Warren's going to get fed. I actually do really like this. And if it is Daniel Jones, probably even better for Tyler Warren. So I like it. In Colston Loveland's case, Caleb supported 3 receivers with over 100 targets last year. Keenan Allen's not there. And Ben Johnson, on about 7 interviews to this point, has said that Colston Loveland is Sam Laporta. And we saw Sam Laporta come in his rookie year and get 130 targets to be the number 1 tight end. So, and that offense had some weapons with Amon-Ra there. I know Jameson was dealing with some shit. But Colston Loveland is going to come in and get work immediately as a receiving tight end. That's why they drafted him. Burden being drafted there lowers his outlook a little bit for this year, but I do love Colston Loveland in the long run.
You said that Caleb propped up 3 targets. How is he going to prop up 5?
He doesn't have to prop up 5.
Okay, so someone's the odd man out. Who's the odd man out? Burden? Loveland's just immediately jumping him?
Well, I mean, I think Loveland is immediately going to be in there, but the Lions ran a ton of 12 personnel, and they were top 10 in tight end targets the last 2 years. So if we think Ben Johnson's really going to install the same type of offense, I think Colston Loveland should be projected for a ton of catches this year as a rookie.
I know we're not doing full time draft right now, but I think we'll get there at some point. And I just want to throw it out there. I think Caleb Johnson's the new Jordan Love. I don't think you really want any of these targets in redraft this year. That is, obviously you want these as fantasy assets for Dynasty, but I'm worried about DJ Moore. I'm worried about Burden coming in. I think he's probably, and then Adunze, who's one of the most overvalued people right now, who's done it. I'm just saying from what he's done nothing. I mean, he's nothing at the moment. He could be great, but like one of the most overvalued dynasty assets right now. And just because we have no idea what this team's going to be. And now with 5 targets on there, plus DeAndre Swift, plus Roshan Johnson, plus another running back that they might bring in, I love it for a team perspective, but for fantasy, it gets hairy.
Yeah, it really does. I think DJ Moore.
If you were talking about my reactions, by the way, because I felt like you were addressing my reactions, it's because you said Caleb Johnson over instead of Caleb Williams, and I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" And then it clicked that you were talking about, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
No, that's totally my bad. We're on rookie brains, and I shouldn't even be talking about this anyway. I kind of
you're
fair. I'm just worried. Like, but Caleb at the same time, Caleb Williams, that is. Super excited to get him in drafts this year.
All right. Yeah. Joe said DJ Moore will be pissed if Burden is Amon-Ra. And it's really funny because I texted these dudes the other day and I said, how pissed are we going to be in 2 years if Luther Burden really is Amon-Ra immediately? And
he did text that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I think Amon-Ra slipped in drafts too to about this spot, or like end of the first round, early second round.
Yeah. Well, he might have gone late because wasn't he a 5th round pick? Or was he a 3rd?
Yeah, he was a much later pick.
So Amon-Ra, like he was drafted, I think, in the 4th or 5th round of the actual draft. But like I was so on Amon-Ra. Like literally, you could look at what Jared Goff had done through his career and like what Amon-Ra was coming in to do, and you were like, this dude's gonna fucking hit. Like he's going to hit. It's gonna happen, and it's exactly what ended up happening.
I mean, we also had Equidemius St. Brown already in the league too, so we already had a brother situation, and we're like, this guy's better. Like immediately, like you see his play, you're like, this guy's better, and it's clear that is the truth. But it was cool that they got to play against each other a bunch. Okay, back and to finish these off because we got a Burden who we touched on a little bit at 12, and then Egbuka at 11. I'm way lower on Egbuka. I got him at 14. Billy's got him at 8, propping him into the first round, and Joe's got him at 10. I'm just gonna say my thing. He's buried on the depth chart. And yes, it's just this year. Mike Evans technically could be gone, but I don't see them doing Mike Evans dirty like that. He has the coolest active record in the NFL right now. We're 1,000 yards on the same team every year that he's played. And I don't know what it's at, like 8 or something like that. So I just see him signing a friendly 1-year deal at the very least, 2-year deal with them. I just don't see him going away. And they just signed Godwin. Maybe he goes to another team at this point, but it's, once again, lovely for Baker Mayfield. A little bit shitty for fantasy football, but Egbuka is one of my favorite wide receiver targets in this draft, or pre landing spot. But Billy, give me your take. Why number 8 over RJ?
So we're gonna do the math here. One of these two guys is getting hurt, and Egbuka is going to be the wide receiver 2 on this team. I don't know who it's going to be. We can roll the dice. Both of them staying completely healthy through 18 games, hell no. That's not going to happen. It hasn't happened in a while, and I don't think that there's any other. If they both stayed healthy, sure, then Egbuka is probably going to be 600 yards and 3 touchdowns, probably. But if even one of them is hurt or out for even like 6 weeks, which could happen with a hamstring at any point in time, Egbuka is going to feast in this offense because, like, what I think of Jalen McMillan is what Egbuka probably actually really is, and where he's going to come in and he's going to actually be the guy that's going to be able to elevate this offense and not make it miss a step, which with McMillan at times you felt there was a little bit of a misstep whenever it was just Mike Evans. Like, you're like, okay, well, they're definitely going to focus Evans here. Whereas, like, now it's like, they could go Egbuka, and I don't think it's that big of an issue. So I don't know. I think that he is a good asset. Plus, one of those two is not going to be there long term. So You've got a wide receiver 2 at least going forward.
It's definitely like, especially if you're drafting at the 11th spot, you just lost the championship game. It's the perfect addition long term on here. But Egbuka can play outside, so I think in 3 wide receiver sets he'll be outside. So I think it's fine. The only thing I'm worried is this. Are they telling us something about the Chris Godwin injury?
It's possible.
Potentially.
I mean,
It's very potential.
because Chris
That's
Godwin,
what those-
I brought
ACL,
that
right?
up too.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did forget about that. He's coming off that ACL injury, so maybe they don't rush him back, and that's probably for the best. They just signed him to a long-term deal.
He had a dislocated ankle, which
Yeah,
I figured just meant that he's fine, but apparently
I thought it was ACL. Is it
that's a
ankle?
longer recovery time. I don't know.
Mm.
Might be a little worried about Godwin.
Yeah, I actually might have misjudged that. You're right. There's some smoke there. All right, we need to get to the second round. This has been the first round. We did touch on Matthew Golden at 12 a little bit there, I'm sorry, Matthew Golden, not Oh, never mind. You're moving your cursor in there. All right, second round. Matthew Golden, number 1. Cam Ward finally off the board at number 2. Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins, and Jack Becht off the board, and then Cam Scatabo, Byshawn Tutton, Jaden Blue, Pat Bryant, Dylan Sampson, Kyle Williams, and then Kyle Williams cuts it.
You got it.
So, any of those stand out to you guys where we might have them lower than other people do, or maybe we're too high on them, or maybe one of us is just way off? I mean, see some pretty even.
We should just have the Trey Harris conversation. Why do you believe more than
everyone?
Maybe we think you should?
No, you can say you can say everyone.
Okay, well, that's fine. Everyone.
So Trey Harris didn't have the best combine, which was actually the best case for him. So he ended up going to a team that needed him the most in the Los Angeles Chargers. Yes, they brought Mike Williams back. Yes, they have Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yep.
Who cares? Why are we even talking? Can't even pronounce his name. And yes, they have Ladd McConkey. But I'm not convinced that Ladd McConkey is the dude that we all think he's going to be long term. I think he's great. I think he's going to be good. I'm not saying Trey Harris is going to skip him from the jump. Trey Harris has got speed. He didn't show it at the combine, which is hilarious. He should be way faster than that. I'm not saying breaking the 40 record by any means, but a 4.5, I think he's a little bit faster than that. So we have the perfect prototypical wide receiver joining the team, and Ladd McConkey, who's already there, who's kind of I see a Cooper Kupp to Puka Nacua kind of rankings here, like not in any comps by any means, but just kind of more McConkey being the Kupp and my guy here, Trey Harris, being the Puka. So I'm seeing a lot of deep balls, but also still across the field stuff. I think Trey Harris has a chance to jump right in. Herbert is way better than we give him credit for. He's way better than his stats have shown as well. He's had a really shitty situation with wide receivers. Obviously, Keenan Allen for the first few years, and then nothing behind that. So obviously, that McConkey last year. So finally gets a second guy. We got 2 wide receivers. We have 2 running backs. This team's going to be electric. I'm really looking forward to it. I think this team puts up a lot of points. They're in a division where they got to keep up. The Broncos went out and played last year. The Chargers come out and play this year.
Okay,
Trey Harris is what Mike Williams would be if he was good at football. So
at least Trey Harris belongs in the league.
I'm excited to see Trey Harris on this team. Go ahead, Billy. Let's hear it.
No, I was gonna pour water on all of it, and then you can get back to the love fest. I just feel like we're looking at Josh Palmer again. Like this is Josh Palmer all over again to me. Like that's what scares me about this. Is like I love Josh Palmer coming out of Tennessee. I really thought he was gonna be the guy there and be a guy that is we can trust to do the downfield stuff, and it never worked. So I'm hoping Trey Harris can buck that trend, but like I've already burned my hand on the stove once. Like I'm not going to do it again, unfortunately. But I get what you all think. But I already did this with Josh Palmer, and I can't do it again.
I like it. I like him a lot. I'm a big fan. I reached on him heavily in leagues because I knew that this is the perfect, for one, landing spot, talent level, everything. I think he's got a better landing spot than a lot of the wide receivers ahead of him.
Yeah. I mean, that was all Jackson Dart did was just like, fuck it. He's down there somewhere, which I think Justin Herbert kind of does that with his game a little bit too. So I think that Trey Harris works really well with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, 100%. Other than that, we're pretty aligned on these. Cam Ward being 14, I'm not. I sure he could go in the first round if you're desperate, but if you're in the playoffs, you probably don't.
I guess we should have said. I don't know if we mentioned this. These are not super flex rankings too.
I think everyone figured that out.
Cam Ward would be definitely a lot higher. Just making sure that it's
just to caveat that, where would you put Cam Ward in a super flex league.
He would probably be 3 or 4.
I'd say 4
if it was super flex.
I think I'd put him in between Hampton and Judkins on ours at number 4. So I agree.
Yeah.
I love the report that they're trying to build the offense to get the ball out of his hands quickly.
And I am super excited about this guy, though.
Yeah, no, I like Cam Ward. He's super talented, but I just love how they're like, oh, we're going to get the ball out of his hands quick. And it's like, he has never done that. He has always held on to the ball. It's the Justin Fields conversation, right? They were like, we got to get the ball out of his hands quicker. Like, he doesn't process fast enough to get the ball out of his hands quicker. So hopefully Cam Ward is different.
It's probably going to be a pretty rough rookie year, but I really hope that they have something here. Like I've said on the pod before, like I just want to see Tennessee have a good quarterback. Like they haven't had one since probably Vince Young in 2010.
Probably.
It's probably about accurate. And then Steve McNair, obviously.
I guess Hasselbeck was okay.
But yeah, I guess
it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Yeah, you're right. All right, we do have a question on YouTube. 12-team Dynasty tight end plus traded the 104 in a 2026 mid-round second for the 107 drafted Warren and Christian McCaffrey. Thoughts? Also, what's y'all's outlook on Penix Jr.? I actually think I like that trade a lot.
How did you get McCaffrey for a second?
Well, I'm assuming because we're talking about Cam Ward potentially being at the 4 because this is super flex.
Oh, that's fair.
But tight end premium, you got Warren, so I mean, can't hate
fantastic.
That. And we got McCaffrey's kind of I don't know.
It's fun.
I don't know how. I think that was worth it. I think that's a good trade.
Yeah,
and then outlook on Penix Jr. Does anybody have a strong opinion? I like Penix Jr. a lot. I don't know if it's going to be like blowing everyone out of the water. Is it going to make anybody a top 5 wide receiver like Drake London? I don't know. But, I mean, I enjoy watching him play. He's definitely a system guy. It's going to be a run-first offense, though.
It's really good for Drake London. I mean, that 15-target game or whatever the hell that was awesome. I think Penix he has all the weapons in the world, so...
I'm terrified. I'm terrified. I said I'm terrified of Penix. I honestly have no idea what's going to happen here. We saw 3 games, and if that was 3 games, it felt like a game and a half. I'd love to see it happen. Love to see another lefty quarterback playing out there. Does have all the weapons, but so did Kirk Cousins, and so did all the people before him. So obviously, not much to say before them, but. Kirk was fine, so hopefully Penix will be fine. But I think I'm a little worried. I mean, don't sell. I mean, don't panic sell at the moment. But definitely, you drafted him last year. He's a rookie going into his second year, and we're hoping for the best here, right? Great talent around him.
Yeah, and he said he moved back 3 spots from 104 to 107. I get it. We're trying to figure out who you gave up to get to there, but. I mean, honestly, I think I would take McCaffrey and Warren over whatever.
I take McCaffrey
whoever
for
got
a
at 104.
Move back a few picks. I mean that's a good flyer for next year. Let's see if I can get one good year out of McCaffrey. I'm floating a second out of there.
No,
so,
good trade with that completely.
Penix is a good buy low right now because I think everyone.
Well, same with
a lot of trepidation about Penix. So
obviously,
probably a really good buy low.
Well, what's the old Michigan boy?
McCarthy,
JJ McCarthy.
I mean, McCarthy's in the same boat other than the fact of having Jefferson and Addison.
Whoever the starting quarterback is for Kevin O'Connell, I am 100% putting them on my.
It's hard not to be all in. It's going to be definitely a guy that you take late in Dynasty, like in redraft leagues, where you're like, well, we'll see what happens here, but it could lead to a lot of fireworks. So, I mean,
still a little worried about both of them together, but at the same time, once again, we'll see. Basically the rookie years.
Not as your starter, but maybe backup. That would be great.
Yeah. Okay, I want to get into some of the back half of this. Jaden Blue, I have him the highest at 17. Joe's at 20. Billy's at 26. This is this is the only one on the roster in 2 years at the moment. Yes, they could go out and draft a rookie next year. Yes, they could go sign one of the many free agents the next year as well. But at the moment, they have not said that they're going to be a committee. They have basically given Jaden Blue a chance to be the number 1 on this team, and I'm excited for it. I mean, honestly, gets to stay in Texas. Obviously, kind of explosive player, good pass catcher as well. I think Javonte and Miles Sanders are great running backs, and I'm still stoked about Blue. I think this is going to be an ugly split at first, but I think it irons out by week 5. I don't know who it is. I'm hoping it's Blue. Kind of hoping it's the other 2 as well. I have them in every league. So, looking forward to seeing this. I know I'm a little higher than everyone else, but I think a starting lineup or starting job is on the line here, and I think there's a chance that he can take it. So,
No, for sure.
Billy,
And I think the
bad
pass
things about
catching.
Texas?
Hmm?
Any bad things to say about Texas?
No, fuck the Longhorns.
The pass catching is honestly, he's your starting third down back immediately. I was way high on Jaden Blue going through this cycle coming into this, and everyone was real down on him. And Dallas took him, and he's now has a chance to start for them. So I like Jaden Blue a lot. I think it's going to be Javonte starting off, and we'll see what happens. But as far as a pass catching guy, RB3 type, I like Jaden Blue, and going third round half the time. That's really nice.
I mean, ironically enough, he's going at 20 in our draft, and that's about where he went in both of our drafts as well. I also, one problem with Jaden Blue that I know of, at least, is that he had some fumbling issues. So there is that concern, and I could see Jerry.
Okay. You all have lost me with this one. This is just a band-aid to get to next.
Is it because we're talking about? Is it because we're talking about draft?
No, it's just like I don't think Jaden Blue is going to mean much to this team, like long term.
I think there's a hope though, and to burn a back second round, I'm about it.
This will be a back third round at least for me. This guy or Joe says on YouTube, Blue or Scatabo. It's Scatabo by a mile, like country mile, like so far ahead.
I go Blue.
Really? Okay, Scatabo's probably actually getting on the field this year. Blue might not.
I think they're both going to get on the field. I don't know at what capacity. Scatabo obviously has. We still got Singletary in New York at the moment, at the very least. He is a cut candidate, but at the moment he is on the team. So we got 3 guys there, and we got 3 guys there. We have Tracy, who's the RB1. I'm sorry, Scatabo's the RB2 or 1A, 1B, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it'll be 1A, 1B.
Got caught from behind way too many times on this college tape.
But he's a bulldog. Like that's a good guy to have on the team.
Fun.
And
that's
they're gonna
super fun. But you can get your 12 yards and then get off the field and let Tracy run it for the touchdown on the next play. That's my opinion.
I think Scatabo is going to be the goal line back, but we skipped over Scatabo.
Billy, I agree with you on Scatabo. I think he's going to have a big role coming out the gate, and
so too.
I don't think I've ever
will. By the way, it's not like down on Tracy. It's just both of them are going to have a big role.
I don't think I've ever been more indifferent on a player. I don't know if it's because he's a white running back, but I am just so indifferent on this dude. It is unreal. I know that his stats and his metrics, and you can get in the analytics, he's phenomenal for what he did at Arizona State. But it's fine. We'll see what he does in the NFL. But I think for right now, he is further above Jaden Blue.
No, if anybody is familiar with, like, I think it's Greek mythology, it's Icarus. Like he's going to fly, and he's going to be amazing, and he's going to fly too close to the sun. He's going to burn out and fall back to earth, and that's going to be the Cam Scatabo story. And it's going to be incredible on the way up. I mean, I'm telling you, he's going to feed families, and we're going to win leagues because of it. And then there'll be just a crash, and then that'll be the end of it, sadly, because it's just the way he runs.
Yeah, I'm not as excited.
Billy,
Chandler on YouTube says, what is a chain value? I feel like he could be a top 5-7 for the next 2-3 years. Some dude has sent me like 5 trades in the last week, but I just feel like we are on different pages. What's y'all's thought on him? Pretty easily, he was like an RB1, maybe 2 in the league when Tua was playing last season. So as long as Tua is healthy, you've got a league-winning running back on your team. Now, if Tua was to get hurt again, that's obviously where the issues come in for him, especially. But you can't go into a season assuming that's going to happen. So I would not trade a chain, especially not for 2 to 3 years in Dynasty. You can trade him on the back half, but not now. Like he's only 23, I think. No, now is not the time unless you're getting a king's ransom.
Yeah, 100% agree with Billy. And if this guy sent you 5 trades and you haven't liked any of them, there's probably a reason. Because you have the better running back. I assume
he's trying to lowball because, I get it, but we can't.
We can't lowball every good top 10 running back when a running back is drafted behind him.
You absolutely can, and you should be lowballing every top running back. That's how you win leagues.
Well, okay, you can lowball him, but don't. If you have the guy, don't accept the lowball.
Don't accept the lowball. Sorry, my apologies, Joe. Yes, we understand how trades work. I love his.
No, H.Ain's definitely a top 10 guy for the foreseeable future. The only concern is his size, and like these guys touched on, if you do not like a trade, fuck him. You don't have to trade him.
Nice. Love that.
All right, just getting to let me just gloss over a couple of these wide receivers we haven't talked about. Matthew Golden is
Okay.
our 13th pick on the draft. We're all pretty in comparison, or pretty.
I don't know
consensus
what
here.
to make of Matthew Golden. Like, on one hand, I'm like, I get it, and maybe he is the wide receiver one. There maybe somebody finally breaks through. But on the other hand, I've watched the Green Bay Packers for 2 years with Love, and it never works. So I don't know what to make of that. I don't want him on my team. I'll put it that way.
The thing is, and I think we all kind of agree here, is there is upside because we all loved Matthew Golden coming into the draft, and then him going to the Packers, we're kind of like, ooh, we got another wide receiver 2 on this team. I actually think he slides right into that Christian Watson role, who's not going to be ready. So I think you're getting immediate impact. No idea what that impact is. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
For any Green Bay wide receiver, but it's fun. He's fast. It can be really fun. I think he's close to it. If you want to take him in the first round, I'm totally down with it. Jaden Higgins, Jack Beck, both players that should see the field right away. We got him at 16 and 17. Jack Beck, I think, a little bit lower drafted, but at the same time, no one on the Raiders wide receiver room, so should get an immediate role. And then Jaden Higgins, loved him going into the draft, and going to Houston, it's going to kind of suck for the long run, although he may have a good role alongside Nico and Dell. At the moment, Dell's gone for the year.
Dell's gone, dude. Dell's not playing.
Yeah, Dell's
not going to have a meaningful role ever again.
But Higgins is more like a Nico Collins, so Well, I mean, he will be back in 2026 potentially.
No, he won't.
No, Joe said ever again.
Never. He's done.
Have you talked to him and he's retiring?
The NFL
from
moves
the
real
NFL?
fast, dude, and this is 2 catastrophic leg injuries that he has to recover from. He's gone.
But okay. I feel
well,
like running back, I'd agree with you, but like wide receiver, okay, he's got hands.
Don't panic, sell Tank Dell on Joe's account. Anyway, regardless, Jaden Higgins has a role right away and probably has a role for the long run, maybe forever, as Joe says. And then that ends the wide receivers. And then we had Baishal Tutton, and that's it. Never mind. We talked about Jaden Blue already and Scatabo. Baishal Tutton, Joe, you want to talk about him? Somehow you have him ranked the lowest out of the 3 of us, even though I thought you were a big Tutton fan.
Yeah, I mean, he was what pick was he? He was a 5th round pick? I can't remember. But anyway, he's fast as hell. He gets in a really crowded room, which is where the trepidation comes from. He's a 4th round pick. He's going to be electric when he gets the ball, but I got to see how this all works out. I mean, they got LaQuint Allen as well. They've got Bigsby. They've got Etienne on that roster. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see how it works out this year for Tuden. Now, I think he will be on some specialized design plays and stuff. I just don't think he's gunning for the running back 1 spot like everyone thinks he is.
I actually see a Dameon Pierce type year for him, like Dameon Pierce's rookie year, where he has just a big play here and there, especially with mixing in with Etienne. We've seen what Tank Bigsby is, and it's unfortunately been pretty disappointing. I think he's at this point literally just Etienne's backup. I think Tutton sees the field pretty fast, so I think that's why we have him a little higher, but excited to see him as the pass catching specialist of this team. Etienne can obviously catch passes as well, so I think he'll get the first crack at it, but I think Tutton, once he gets one big play, he's going to see the field a little bit more. Not an immediate start, but fun to have on your roster. And then to wrap out the first round, Kyle Williams and
I'm getting to say anything. I have him ranked the highest.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
I was going to say by week 13, Tuten's the starting running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm sorry. I should have let you talk.
Yep, that's why I'm ranked 17.
It's right after the trade deadline.
I was just trying to get through the second round.
That's fine. Well, I have the hottest take of everyone, but
you did. I should have gave it to you. I'm sorry. Anyone have anything to say about Pat Bryant or Kyle Williams? We did already touch on Bill Sampson at 23.
So I think Pat Bryant's a phenomenal value. I mean, they took him. They've heard. I mean, he's been compared to Michael Thomas, which is ridiculous, but Sean Payton said it, so that's cool. He can do what he did at Illinois and just be a fantastic possession receiver right out the gate. So I think he's going to get on the field right away, and I think you're going to – I mean, when you're looking at second, third round guys, especially back of the second round, he's going to get on the field and at least produce for you this year. So,
okay, let me see the upside of him to start with, and then the thing that I'm worried about. What I'm excited about is, like you said, he could get on the field really quick, especially if Sutton somehow gets off this team, because there's been a lot of trade rumors going on. But I'm a little worried about Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin, Belly, and Mims. I don't know how that shakes out. I do like Pat Bryant. He's a very good receiver. But I just see this shakeout being a little ugly to start at the very least. In the future, I'm excited about this pick. I think he will be the future, especially with so many Sutton rumors swirling. They have a lot of young rookie or young, year 2 guys at the very least on this team. I don't know. I think Mims is better than people think he is. I think Troy Franklin's never had a shot at it. I don't know why, but that could be because he's not good. I don't know. So there is a chance, but I'm also a little worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, he was a top 100 guy in the draft. I agree with you. I mean, I like Mims. Vele, he's geriatric as fuck, but he's fine. And then there's a lot of potential on this team. I just think Pat Bryant's like the most puzzle piece. It just fits into the offense.
He's the newest.
Yeah,
let's just bring it up.
That's fair. And youngest too for Joe.
Factual youngest, yeah.
Anyway, Kyle Williams, I don't think anyone absolutely loves. I think the fact of the matter is New England has no wide receivers.
I was about to say, he could be wide receiver 1. He might not be. Like, it's just, we'll see.
The 5th-year breakout. The 5th-year breakout guy that everyone loves.
Let's get into the 3rd round. Break it down. We got Jalen Noel first, Devin Neal second, Elik Ayamana, should have prepped on that one. Elijah Arroyo, Jarquez Hunter, Mason Taylor, Ollie Gordon, Jordan James, Jalen Royals, Terrence Ferguson, and Jalen Milrow. Sorry.
Okay.
I had to do the math there. The numbers are a little off there. They
well, you didn't say Jackson Dart as 20, whatever.
It did.
25.
Oh.
No, you didn't. Wow. But it's okay. That's why your numbers were off. I understood. Okay, we'll skip around in this. I want to start with Elik Aomanor. Why do you guys not understand that he's going to be the wide receiver 2 on this football team?
Brother, he is average AF. Like, he's the definition of average.
I thought putting him mid or early 3rd round was generous for him. I have him at 28.
You know who was slicing and dicing Travis Hunter in college?
He had one game.
Aomanor.
He had
put
one game
236 yards on Travis Hunter's head.
It was 294, number 1.
That's a guy you drafted 2 overall. Elik Aomanor cooked his ass.
Yeah, one time in college. He had 4 more 100-yard games this whole time after that. He's average as fuck, dude. Have fun with him. He's cool. And he's going to be on Tennessee, so do it that way.
I think my biggest issue is here, and it's nothing that I hate about him. It's just that he is buried on the depth chart with a team that just brought in a bunch of other wide receivers as well. We got Restrepo there. We got Traylon Burks still there.
Restrepo was what round was Restrepo drafted in? Just curiosity.
The supplemental draft, I believe.
Oh, he was an undrafted free agent? Oh, yeah, man. He's going to have to beat the shit out of him to get on the depth chart.
Also brought in Tyler Lockett, and we know Calvin Ridley's the number 1. So, yes, we have...
Okay, so you have your slot, and you have your other guy. Who else is playing on the field? They drafted him.
That's the problem.
If you want to get a 4 for 40 guy on your team, draft him. That's fine.
Billy, I literally put him as the draft pick that you drafted him in. I don't know why you're hating on my pick. I
should have been higher. After everything's shaken out, should be higher. That's why I have ranked him higher.
Nah, I'd take Devin Neal over him any day. The future of New Orleans running back. I mean, this is just a running back heavy draft. The wide receivers on the shitty teams and in bulk situations are just going to go down a little bit. We have no idea what Cam Ward is. They could be in the same boat or with the last 6 quarterbacks that they drafted. Sorry, that's a little aggressive, but the last 2 or 3 quarterbacks they drafted. I like him. I just don't like him as much as you, man. I'm sorry. Sorry I couldn't be there for you.
Fair enough. I don't see what I guess Joe's he sucks thing. I can't wait for that to be Elik Aomanor is not a NFL talent or something.
He is the new Michael.
Or is this just Treylon Burks hate? Like that could also be what this
isn't Treylon Burks hate. He's average as fuck. He might be better than Mike Williams, but not by much.
Okay. Fair enough.
Joe, I did need to ask you a question I meant to ask, but I thought he was in the 3rd or the 2nd round, but he's in the 3rd. Jalen Noel, we have and you have him at 15, and that is actually higher than Jaden Higgins at 18.
A comment he already has made has definitely made this why he did this. I
understand.
completely.
No, I understand the Tank Dell comment. That's fine. But why do you have him over Higgins?
Okay, so when we were going through and watching all these guys and watching them get drafted, Jalen Noel was better than Higgins. I know Higgins is the prototypical ex wide receiver. You put him outside, he's tall, he's going to catch the ball. Jalen Noel is shifty, he is fast, and he is really creative after the catch. It's really impressive to watch him play. And so, yeah, I have him ranked above Higgins. I just like Jalen Noel. And you had the Tank Dell thing. I think this year Kirk's going to be your slot guy. But I think for the foreseeable future, Jalen Noel's going to be that slot role. And I think he's going to have a much better career in the long run.
I kind of agree. I'm not like 15 high on him. I'm just 24, but I 100% agree with what you're saying, Joe.
The only issue I have Noel super low. I'm 38, and that's why he is in the third round. Is my issue is someone's not seeing the field. I don't know who it is, but we got Nico, we got Kirk, we got these two rookies here as well. Like, I mean, we can't have all four on the field at the same time. I understand that everyone behind these four are trash. Like we saw it last year. I'm sorry. Like I hate to say it. I wish they were good. I mean, I'd love to see some of these other guys, Mechie and who's the other 2 or 3 year now guy. See, I can't remember his name.
Liked him.
Yeah, sure. He was fine. You don't know who was good.
Another Iowa State guy, by the way.
Yeah, they must really. They you know how like in Madden you pick your spots for your different positions. They got wide receivers on Midwest, but. No, my issue is someone's not going to see the field, and I like Jaden Higgins, so I was just a little lower on Noel, and I doubt he's going to take over Kirk right away.
I think Christian Kirk is the one in danger here. Yeah, for me, like that's one I'm I think
a sure-handed guy is a perfect guy to have out there, and Kirk is one of those guys. But I don't know, 4 wide receivers on the team.
My view on Noel is more long term.
Yeah,
because I do think Kirk is going to be the guy this year, but
I see the
as far as long term. I think he is insanely talented and being overlooked. So, yeah, I'm at
15.
I see the vision.
A fun consensus here. Elijah Arroyo at 27, 27, and 28. We excited about this? I mean, has Seattle ever had a good tight end? Didn't they kill Jimmy Graham?
Eventually they will. That's the thing you got to keep hoping is eventually they are going to have a good one. We have bet on almost every single one that has been there, and they have all, for one reason or another, not necessarily been the guy. But this might be it. You know, hope springs eternal. We liked Elijah Arroyo. It's just, you know, we'll see what happens with his landing spot.
I do think if he didn't have the knee injury, he would be more well-known. But he is a fantastic receiving tight end, and that is exactly what Seattle needs. So
the good news about this is that this is the first year they don't have 3 good wide receivers on their team. I mean, it's hard to say that Lockett was good last year as well, but at the very least, legacy good. But Metcalf and Lockett being shipped out, Cooper Kupp being added, there's kind of a vacancy in that third spot, and it could be Arroyo. I'm looking forward to it. At this point, we are in the backup to hopeful transition running backs. We kind of touched on Devin Neal earlier, going to take over for Kamara. We have him at 26. We got Jarquez Hunter for the Rams at 29. We got Ollie Gordon at 31. Don't know about transition there, but maybe playing time. And Jordan James at running back 14 at 32. Any guy you're up on right now? Obviously, the Devin Neal, obviously we have him higher than everyone else, but Jordan James, Ollie Gordon, Jarquez, like anyone like we think that has a role right away?
I like Jarquez, man. I think coming in, he's already the most explosive guy in that backfield. I mean, Corum we'll see, but he did not look great last year.
Didn't we do this with Corum last year?
No, we did, but
okay.
Jarquez is faster and more explosive and a much better receiving back than Blake Corum was.
It's not better than Corum, though.
He's a much better receiving back. I think he had 200 and some receptions in college. So
dive through as many hoops as you want, Joe. He is not better than Corum.
I think I learned my lesson on this one, and I thought Kyron was a one-hit wonder last year, and I thought Corum was going to come in, take about half the workload, maybe less, but Kyron's still great, you know. I learned my lesson this year. Kyron is a one-man backfield. Unless he gets injured, he is the guy. Like, there's no one else. I don't think there's any even startable person. And it could be Jarquez Hunter as the pass catching back. Hey, cool, you caught 3 balls for 20 yards, maybe 40. That's 7 points. I don't want that on my team. Great for backups. Like, obviously, once again, third round in a dynasty rookie draft, you got to go for running backs if you need them, especially in this round. I'm more on Jordan James personally. We don't know what the hell they shipped out Mason and Mitchell. And now we got Garendo, who I'm still not sold on. Did nothing with the team. Well, everybody fell apart, but to be fair, Garendo, Debo should have been the 2 guys that were carrying that team to at least like relevance to maybe make the playoffs, and neither one could do so. Obviously, McCaffrey's there. Obviously, Garendo's there. But, man, the running backs for the San Francisco 49ers, I would take any in the third round because they always seem to be relevant one way or another, whether it's on San Francisco or on the next team that they join. So, at that point, go get Elijah Mitchell and maybe even Jordan Mason. Not in the draft, of course. They're on other teams.
I do like Jordan James. I misspoke. I just need to correct something really quick. Jarquez Hunter is a good pass catcher, but Woody Marks is the guy that had 261 receptions in college, which is fucking insane.
Is insane. We'll get to him. I have him a little bit further down.
I just had to correct my mistake, Billy.
I should learn my lesson about San Francisco running backs, but I just can't. I still just can't do it because I didn't believe in Garendo. I don't believe in Jordan James. Like, I just don't believe in these guys, and I understand that they're going to probably have to come in at some point and prove me wrong, but I can't do it. I just can't do it. I hate that he keeps taking running backs that are mid and making me believe, and then they don't end up not being anything but like are relevant for a little bit. And I don't know. I just can't do
only
it.
On San Francisco teams or
only on coaches. San Francisco
or Shanahan coaches. To be fair, we do get some people who are relevant. Mostert, for example, who was relevant in the Shanahan system.
That's true. Carlos Hyde.
Sorry, Jeff Wilson too. Yeah, been a couple. Yeah, I don't know. Just a hopeful. Once again, I mean, you're in the third round. We're diving deep here. And then I did mess up. Harold Fannin is actually our 36th pick. We had the numbers all messed up for Cleveland. I'm a little worried about him. Would have liked to see him land in a better spot, but the inevitable takeover for Njoku or maybe some 2 tight end sets, hopefully at the very least. But could be fun. Any other one to touch on in the third round that we didn't catch on? Jackson Dart, we did never talk about. He was actually in the second round. He was 24. The numbers are all jacked up.
I don't know what to do with Jackson Dart because he's not going to be starting this year. And I just feel like why not let him sit and learn behind Jameis, not Russ. Jameis, not Russ. Why don't I just let him, learn behind a quarterback? I don't know. I don't know.
I think Dart ends up, well, I guess, I don't know. If all 3 of those quarterbacks are on the field or on the team at the start of the year, there's probably no way he gets on the field. Love to see Jameis play. We saw what happened with Russ. I don't know why people still think he has it. It has not been anything. Dude, Pete Carroll knew what was going on. Like, he was like, we got to get him out now. And something happened. Something switched. It is just not the same experience with Russ. Love to see him be a good veteran quarterback, but I think those days are behind us at this point. So, what I do love Dart for the future, though, and if you're in a quarterback needy spot, it's great to grab him, stash him. I got him 3-1 in one league. I think he went in the. No, I got him late in a league. 3-5 and then 3-9 in another league. So you can get Dart late third round, which is great. I have him a little higher. I put him there just because being attached to neighbors is going to be really fun, and this wide receiver room is only going to get better over the years.
He went really late in a Superflex startup that I just did. So, fantastic target if you're doing
because everyone's looking for their starters at that point with the Superflex.
Yeah.
But
I mean, dude, people were getting their starters, but Jackson Dart was going very late. I got him as my third, and then I made up on the back end.
100%. All right, fourth round. Let's just get through it real quick. Shedeur Sanders to start out. DJ Giddens, Isaac T-Slaw, don't know how to pronounce his name. Tyler Shuck, Xavier Restrepo, Woody Marks, Ty Felton, Trevor Etienne, Dante Thornton, Taj Brooks, Rashard Smith, and Damian Martinez to finish out our four rounds.
Yeah.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. What does Shedeur bring?
He's either a starter or he's a depth chart guy or he's cut. Like, there's kind of a tough look here with how the Browns have structured their quarterback room. I'm gonna play as if he's not gonna start, but he is gonna be relevant. Like that's how because I think he's better than Gabriel, which I did rank Gabriel too, just to kind of hedge my bet a little bit. Whereas like, well, what if it's Gabriel? Maybe he wins the quarterback job. I don't know.
You put him at 48 too, which is perfect. Just right
well, it's just like last pick. Maybe he's the starter. I don't know. Who knows? But I think still after watching him, what I watch versus what everybody in the world says just feels completely differently. And like, no, do I think Shedeur's ready to be an all-star quarterback week 1? No. Do I think he's a competent guy that could probably be a good starting quarterback eventually? Sure. I don't know if he's going to win a Super Bowl, but I mean, I don't think he's going to be bad. I think he's just was on a really bad team. His O-line was ass, and then all the off-field stuff that you've got to take into account. I guess that's the problem. But for fantasy purposes, I mean, I think he's going to be a solid quarterback. I don't know.
I don't know. I just say at this point in the draft, why not take the shot on him? Because he has the highest upside out of anyone here. So
100%. Our buddy Allen drafted him like mid-third round, and I don't even blame him. Like, I don't even think that's a bad spot for him. Like, because who knows what this could be? Like, we saw what he did in college, and it wasn't like it was just Travis Hunter, and like he propped him up. He was throwing to multiple people. His team like looked good. He brought Colorado. He brought Colorado. Travis Hunter brought Colorado back, but he made it relevant. He made it possible. Without him, without his throws, like this team is not a team. Yes, he is a check down specialist. I don't know what Cleveland brings. It's sad that you add him to the Cleveland Browns quarterback roster or room that's been just terrible and gone all over the place. But there's always that little hope, man. Yes, he's a diva. We're gonna have some dramas coming up with him, but at the end of the day, it's Cleveland. They're used to it. They'll figure it out. Yeah. I want to talk about my guy Taj Brooks. I know everyone on this pod at the very least is a Chase Brown believer. I am not, and I'm not a Zach Moss believer either. I do believe Chase Brown is good, but I think that there is room for another runner in this backfield, and I think that proved it last year when they tried to bring Khalil Herbert in. They had Samaje come back. It never really came to fruition. They do have Zach Moss on the roster still, and he could be good. He did get injured last year, but I just love the late round flyer on Taj Brooks. You can get him in the 4th round. I have him just above the 4th round at 34. Y'all are 45, 41. So y'all agree that there's a chance, like right in the way. There's a chance that he just sees the field right away, and whether that's in a 1B or two standpoint, 10 carries for this guy could be something, and you never know what can happen in the future with an injury, especially to Zach Moss, who's already had some riddled injuries the last couple seasons. I'm just excited about late round flyers. This is my shot in the dark running back that I'm all about this year. So.
I like Taj Brooks, man. He has a ton of opportunity in Cincinnati. I don't know. He was a 6th round pick. The crazy thing was he had 290 carries in the last 2 years, both years. He had 880 carries in his 5-year career. That is a fucking workload coming into the NFL.
Sure is.
So longevity is a concerning.
Tyler,
consistency is great.
He won me quite a bit of money in college betting on his overs for rushing yards. So, yeah. Oh, good guy.
He was consistent as fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I liked him a whole lot. Joe, let's just circle back around to Woody Marks real quick. Can you want to bust out your stats now for the correct running back?
Yeah. I mean, dude. Okay, so first of all, Jaquarvius is a fantastic name. And D'Amico Ryans already came out and said that he wants to use him as a receiving back, where he had 261 receptions in college. I mean, he didn't have a ton of rushing yards at Mississippi State, but then when he went to USC and did. So I don't really know what to make of him other than, holy shit, the guy can catch the football.
Fun is what to make of him. No, I'm excited because it's very clear that they don't believe in Dameon Pierce being the number 2. They haven't given him many carries. He did have some good carries last year too, which is sad, but it was like 5 carries a game. And it was like, oh, you didn't break one off for a touchdown again? You're cut. I mean, but he is on the team. He is a special teams player, so he will be on the team still. But Woody Marks could be the future right now because Mixon obviously still the GOAT, at least for Houston's standpoint. But at the end of the day, career's coming to an end eventually. Don't know when that is. Woody's on the team now, can show off, kind of get a role for the future years. And once again, 4th round flyer, running backs, dude, it's where it's at, in my opinion. Obviously,
For
it's
sure.
great if you can get a first-round guy. But
For sure. There's only one more I wanted to talk about, which is Tyler Shough. Look, there's a good chance that he's the starter in New Orleans this year. And I just, if you have, like, I've learned through the years that if you have a guy that could be the starting quarterback on a team, you just need to roster him just in case, because there's plenty of times throughout the year that you're going to, especially in a one quarterback, where your guy goes down, you go to the waiver wire, your backup's gone, and there's probably not anything on there to take. So just drafting a guy like Tyler Shough that probably is going to get at least one look to be the starter this season just makes sense to go grab him just for free, basically, and just stash him. If nothing happens this year, he's going to be 27 in a year. Ditch him. Fine. They're probably going to get another quarterback, but just for this one season, I feel like you should grab him, especially in the 4th round. Free picks.
Hey man, I got him in after the draft integrity, so I appreciate it. And I need quarterbacks all the time. I actually wanted to touch on one more guy, Isaac Teslaw. I have no idea what this could bring. I don't know. There was rumors of Jameson getting traded, probably honestly not being able to pay him, but not to mention all the off the field issues. Those might just be rumors because the NFL cycle gets a little crazy around this time. But at the end of the day, Tim Patrick's job is not safe. And if there were ever an injury to an Amon-Ra or Jameson, this is an insurance policy. And if you can get this guy in the 4th round, early 3rd or late 3rd, I'm all about it, honestly, because this team produces wide receivers, if you can't tell. I mean, Tim Patrick looked great last year. Josh Reynolds had some phenomenal years or games in the last few years. Imagine this person has the 1 or 2 or 3 immediately. So I don't know what this brings. I have no hope on him being personally a great person, but just all system. So
3 third-round picks they traded for him.
Yeah,
he is a dog. I don't know. I think what they're trying to do is take Patrick and Raymond and just make them one person.
Yeah,
and I think Tesala gives you a good chance to do that.
Tesala, I like Tesla.
Tesla.
It should just be Tesla. Like, I know he's probably trying to get away with it or get away from it at the moment, especially with
unlike the real Tesla, his stock is up.
And just like the real Tesla, he's on fire.
Right, fair enough. I'm just gonna be honest. This dude sucks at football. I don't know why the Lions went and drafted him. It makes no fucking sense in the world.
Really, the coolest thing about this is you have like the college perspective of it, and then it doesn't. I mean, it does matter, obviously, a little bit. But like at the end of the day, there's people that suck in college that go on to be awesome pros, and there's people that are great in college that suck in the pros.
I will take a fireball bet with the world if Isaac Tesla is the first ever wide receiver who never had a 600-yard season in college to be a star in the NFL. I will take a fireball shot. We'll know if he's a star or not. This guy sucks at fucking football. Why the Lions drafted him makes no sense. I'm sure that he had a fine because he was the Hula Bowl. Didn't get taken to the Senior Bowl or the other one, the East-West Shrine. He was at the Hula Bowl. I'm sure he had a phenomenal pre-draft and all that. Hell no. Do you take him? No. This is a mistake of a pick. And he's gonna end up he's gonna be a XFL star, I'm sure. Well, maybe not even that. XFL, he probably will be just average in the XFL, but this is no. Nope.
Damn.
No.
All right. This is the cool thing about this. It's a 4th round pick, man. I'm all about it. Take a flyer.
I get it. No. I'm more mad at the Lions. I understand why people are doing it in fantasy because his draft capital and they traded up to get him. So, like, draft capital wise, yeah, it makes sense to take him in the 4th round. I am just saying this for the Lions. What the hell were y'all thinking?
Unlike the Lions, you can get him in the 4th round.
Again, 600 yards. Like a hero, 600 yards. They traded up to draft him. It's crazy. Insane.
Can I talk about my 4th round love?
Yeah, sure. Head Joe.
Dante Thornton Jr. This dude he had like 60 catches in college, but he is 6'5" and ran a 4.3. And Vegas desperately needs someone that Trey Tucker was supposed to be on this team. I really like taking a shot on Dante Thornton because that profile could do numbers in the NFL.
The The cool thing is you don't even have to draft him. You can get him after the draft.
But you draft him so he's on your fucking team because he's.
I mean, I understand. I like where you put him in your rankings, but just let you know that you can get him later. But I agree. Go get wide receivers that get picked up or drafted by the Raiders or the New England Patriots, who have none. So once again, I'm on board. Just strictly just landing spot, and I say landing spot. Did he get drafted or was he an addition?
Oh, he got drafted.
My apologies. My apologies. Sorry, Thornton. Super fast
Don't
guy.
talk bad on Thornton.
My bad. My bad.
All right. So can we close out the pod by talking about a couple guys that we didn't mention that are going to go in like the 5th round or potentially later? Because I have a couple that I want to mention.
Pick up after the draft. Yeah, go ahead.
It was already mentioned in the chat, but Torrey Horton for Seattle, I do like his game a lot. There is an opportunity to be on the field there because they do only have JSN that we know for sure factual like is going to be there long term. The rest of that's kind of like could fight his way in somehow. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but he could fight his way in somehow. I'd also like to talk about Joe's boy Kyle Monagai.
Monagai. I actually don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know either. But Chicago, we kept saying through the pre-draft that they needed to grab a running back. Now he was drafted super late, 7th round. Those guys usually don't work out, or 6th round maybe. Those guys don't normally work out, so it still might be the DeAndre Swift show. But same time, maybe.
We don't know. We don't know what Roshan, like what the role of Roshan is going to be.
Yeah, Ben Johnson's coming in fresh. We'll see what he does. Clearly, he likes the room, or he would have drafted one earlier.
That's true.
As of right now, Roshan is screaming buy low. By the way,
yeah, I agree. But once again,
we'll get into that with the rankings, by the way. But I agree too.
Undrafted, and 5- and 6-round leagues right now. Maybe 6th round, you might have to draft him. But at the end of the day, like. This is the 3rd guy in the Chicago running back room, and I want everyone in Chicago right now except for the wide receivers.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. And then the last one I have is Rondé Gadsden, who probably should have been ranked. He's the tight end for the Los Angeles Chargers. He is really good, and I do think that Harbaugh might actually see something in him. Very interesting that nobody went and. Like they didn't grab one of the top 2 guys, Warren or Loveland, the Chargers. So Gadsden ending up there actually means quite a lot. And as Joe mentions in the YouTube chat, Rondé Gadsden equals Isaiah Likely for Greg Roman with the Chargers. I could totally see that. He was a wide receiver 2 years ago. I was actually ranked when I did Devy rankings way back. He was one of my receiver potentials for top 10 because I liked him a lot there, but he switched to tight end. I don't know. I don't hate it as a flyer. I do wish he got drafted a little bit higher. That would make me believe just a tad bit more, but landing spot matters sometimes, and where he landed with Harbaugh, I could totally see that working out for them.
One guy I want to touch on who I've just picked up after drafts. I'm not saying go draft him. I don't even know if he's going to be any good. Jimmy Horn, though. Another one of those Colorado Buffaloes. Buried on the depth chart behind the other good receivers. This guy's not bad, though. And the thing is Bryce Young can make wide receivers that aren't good look good, as we saw at least the end of the year last year, if that small sample size is something that's going to be in the future. We don't know what Leggett and Coker are. We don't know if that was like Jimmy Horn, in my opinion, is right on the same par with them, other than the fact of not playing there for the last year. So I'm interested to see what could happen here. He could break through and be in that playing field at some point. So, and he's free, so that's fun. I love free.
Free is good.
Little Texas squad guy.
Free is good. I just want to touch on LaQuint Allen because he's one of the guys that went from wide receiver to running back for Syracuse, and his running back receiving highlights are absolutely insane, and I think can absolutely be used in Jacksonville. So I was actually kind of sad that he went to Jacksonville. I thought he was going to go somewhere a little more fun, but he could make some noise in Jacksonville. And then Arian Smith out of Georgia. I know he didn't do a whole lot, and he was a fifth-year breakout, which we don't necessarily like to see. But he's kind of got some Devonta Smith to his game, as I've been watching it. He had some weird drops, but, I really like taking the shot on him. And he got drafted to the Jets, where he has Alan Lazard to fight with. So,
just to touch on the Jaguars and LaQuint Allen, I kind of like him because he could be that kind of Cordero Patterson guy. For fantasy, it might be a little gross, But if he can get any account of running back shares and then also some catches, because I don't even know this, but they do not have a tight end. They never replaced Evan Ingram. I mean, they replaced him with Travis Hunter, which is fun and everything.
Strange
What
did
happens
okay.
Strange was fine. Strange was fine. They added Johnny Munt.
It's gonna be their guy. Clearly, it's bizarre.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Strange was fine, but at the end of the day, they never replaced Evan Ingram except for with Travis Hunter. But what happens if Travis Hunter is not playing 100% of the snaps on offense? There's holes there. So LaQuinn Allen could be fun. I do agree that there's that weird dual flexibility with him. So
I like it. And then one more guy is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I don't know what to make of this, but Washington needs running backs, and why not Ja'Cory? I mean, McNichols was fine. He got some run, especially late, which I was excited to see. But he's not going to do anything in the passing game. But he could beat Jeremy McNichols out for a touchdown here and there. So
I just love though you are needing Washington to get a running back.
As you can tell,
I need them to get a
just
running
like
back.
Guy that they took. I love it.
As you can tell, we're getting less and less confident as we're getting on in this draft, because you want to know why? Because in the 4th round, it's all flyers and it's all just who you like. And that's what I love about fantasy football is go draft the people you like. If you like Will Howard and you think he's going to be the shit, go draft him. We have him just outside.
Technically, Pittsburgh does not have a quarterback other than him and w's his name.
You
that's
don't
been there
have to draft
forever.
him in Superflex, but if you really think he's great and you need him in regular Dynasty, go get him, man. That's my favorite thing, dude. Tez Johnson, buried on the depth chart on Tampa Bay. Would have loved to see him not go there.
They should not let 4th graders in the NFL, by the way. I don't know whose idea it is to let him play in the NFL, but prayers up. No, he's really small.
Really small. Got it. All right, sorry. I thought you were just insulting him for no reason.
I love with the jokes. Okay, that's what we got this week. Next week we are going to do some spring cleaning on our taxi squads. We always enjoy that episode because some people like to cut some people like to pick up other people's trash, one person's trash, another person's treasure, that whole shindig. That's what we're going to be doing next week with Taxi Squad, because I'm sure that you've drafted. You may not have actually cut anybody yet because you're not sure who to get rid of. And next week we're going to go through and decipher who we think is a guy that you probably could cut right about now. Treylon Burks, looking dead in your face, my friend. Dead in your face if you're not already cut from somebody's.
I disagree.
Okay. Well, I mean, I understand that. Yeah, we'll get into that next week. But yeah, we're going to do some spring cleaning next week. Okay.
Clean it up.
Joe?
Good night, everyone. Thanks for riding with us.
Thank you for watching the IDP Plus YouTube network. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to tap the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.